Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mecca Mike with some Cowboys news. So we just finished our second preseason game, and there's some good things, some bad things, and some in between. But before we get to that, can you please like, comment, and share so I can keep giving you guys this Cowboys content? So this was another opportunity for guys to make a name for themselves and try to make the Cowboys 53-man roster. And the Cowboys, they handled the Las Vegas Raiders pretty convincingly with a score of 27-12. And with that being said, let's just go over some of the things I saw when watching the game. So going into this preseason game, one of the things I was really looking at was offensive line play, because beforehand, basically because of the previous game with the Rams, Cooper Beebe kind of got the nod, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna give you starter reps, and we want to see what you look like with the ones, or in preseason, of course, it's not going to be Zach Martin and Terrence Steele, but they really wanted to see what Cooper Beebe looked like against other teams, especially the Las Vegas Rams, or Las Vegas Raiders starters. And I just got to say, that boy Cooper Beebe is a bad man. Um, I say it once and I'll say it again. He's just a straight dog. Powerful. He's a people mover in the trenches. And in my opinion, that game won him the starting job over Brock Hoffman. And that's not to say anything bad about Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman is still a great, I don't want to say a solid player. But BB opens up the run game, and our running backs looked really good behind BB compared to Hoffman. And I think the biggest issue that a lot of people had was him making, even though he practiced in college, taking snaps. I guess they wanted to see in live game action for another game in a row. Will there be any issues snapping the ball? And again, checked off that box. He was doing it in practice, and they weren't seeing issues, and even coming the game, didn't have issues snapping the ball. And he was snapping the ball pretty consistently. So he's continuing to get first team reps, but as of now, realistically, I think that competition is over. Week one against the Browns, Cooper Beebe. If there's no injuries or anything crazy happens, will be the starter day one against the Browns, not Brock Hoffman. Another thing that just leapt out to me was Tyler Guyton. I was already sold on him, but this game really solidified his spot as the future at left tackle. He was going up against Max Crosby, and if you know who Max Crosby is, he is a dog on the as defensive end. He's a complete defensive end, a guy that can rush the passer, great in the run game, contain all that. And Guyton was holding his own against him. And the thing that's scary about how good Guyton was that he held his own so well that even Max Crosby fist bumped him in the chest to basically say to him, "I see you and I acknowledge you as a player." And that for me is like that's the biggest nod that this guy is going to be something special, because if someone as good as Crosby basically said this guy's legit, and even to the point that Crosby started lining up on the right side. Because realistically, let's just be real, if he wanted an easy stack, he would have been every single play lined up on Guyton. But the fact that he went over to the right side more often should tell you something. It was just really really good to see, especially of a player of that caliber acknowledging your left tackle. That should tell you something. Just in general, him and BB were just out there punishing the Raiders starters. People tend to the starters were out there. The starters were out there, and they were out there punishing those guys. So my hat's off to the Cowboys. They really did their thing picking up those guys. Um, but the only little caveat that I have to say is we don't know if the Raiders are just a bad run defensive team or the Cowboys O line is just that good. We're gonna see when we're against other fronts that are bigger, stronger, faster. And then, but once we see how those guys perform against those better fronts, those better guys, um, that's when I'll be fully confident. Even though I still think we have something special, we got some really good guys out there. For me, I just need to see it consistently against other teams for me to be fully confident. Um, but we'll see. Like I said, it's we still got one more preseason game to go, but then regular season hits and we're gonna be off and running. Just need no injuries. That's no injury bug run away. We don't need any type of injuries. We'll be good. Okay, next Trey Lance. For Trey Lance, uh, I guess a few days after the second preseason game with the Raiders, Jerry announced that Trey has officially made the 53-man roster. No surprises, no big whoop. We kind of all saw that coming. But I'm not going to lie, he definitely had a way better game than he did against the Rams. But still, there's a lot of things that he needs to work on. So it's not, we're still in that project phase because I don't think he's good enough to beat out Cooper Rush, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make him number two. But we'll just have to see on that. But the thing is that I liked, I felt at this game, they had more design plays around him to help him use his legs. And he hit Flournoy with a really good pass for a touchdown against the Raiders starters. The move that Flournoy put on that DB was filthy. He put a filthy in and out on him, which led to a wide open touchdown versus Jack Jones. And that's their starter. He put a move on him and just basically put him in the blender. But there, that touchdown was the touch that Trey was missing in the last preseason game against the Rams. So again, he improved, and it was really, really good to see that. Next, let's talk about the D line and the linebackers. For me, the linebackers looking good, and a guy that stood out to me on film was Maris Leofau. He was a straight ball hawk out there, and he wasn't as late to the punch as he was a little bit versus the Chargers, and that may have been uh, a lot to do with the motion that Sean McVay runs. But again, he was balling out, and glad he's getting his confidence up because we're definitely going to need him going into the season. Whether he's starting or he's going to play a big role in this defense. So I just can't really wait to see him really just keep lighting up the field. And the best thing to do is keep building that confidence, and you can only build that confidence by playing well and just keep getting better. So Maris, great job, great job. And on the D line, I would say the standout performer was Huggins. Um, he was just getting at the quarterbacks out there, and he showed a little sauce to him in his game. Even though he's the size of a one tech, he has the abilities of a three tech. So we are kind of getting the best of both worlds out of him. So, and I get it with the whole shoving of the Ram staffer. Even without all that, even with all that, his performance is a good. That his performance against the Raiders is a good case for him being on the 53-man roster, and I definitely would like to have him more than likely because since he said he plays more of a three tech, and that's what he is. he's going to be Osa's backup. So, in case anything happens to Osa, just having him in the rotation is going to make this defense scary. Because at the end of the day, you don't need your guys going out and then you have no one behind them. Then you're really going to be in trouble. But all in all, there's a lot of things I liked about the Cowboys. They just need to keep the starters and the guys that they need bubble wrapped and ready to go for the season. And it's already being reported that Trey Lance will play basically the whole game versus the Chargers this Saturday, August 24th at 4 p.m. So we'll see if his performance keeps trending up to the point that Jerry might possibly use him as trade bait, but who knows? Mozzie Smith, he didn't play because he had an allergic reaction that kept him away, and I believe it was a nut allergy. But even with that, I think there's a lot of pressure for him to come in and play this last preseason game and just show something. But breaking news, Cowboys fans, Cowboys Nation. Help is on the way. The Cowboys have signed Linval Joseph. He stands 6'4", 329 pounds, and is definitely the interior help we need to stuff the run. And I don't. People could say he's washed. I don't believe that whatsoever. I don't care. He doesn't need to be great. He just needs to keep the linebackers clean, and they will make the plays, and this defense will be scary. Because if teams cannot run on us, then they're going to have to throw. And we got some DBs out there that making plays. So I'd rather be in a situation where we force teams to have to throw against us instead of being in a situation where they're running the ball on us like crazy and we don't know how to react. But honestly, even with this acquisition of Joseph, I don't think that he's an insurance policy for Mozzie, because some people give him a lot of flack that he doesn't deserve. Because realistically, I'll say this, Dan Quinn set him up to fail, so he's already behind. And not only that, Dan Quinn basically gutted the position because he doesn't like one techs. He wants everyone to be three techs. He wants these skinny, fast, skinnier. They're not skinny, but these skinnier defensive linemen that can rush up the field. And that was never Mozzie's strong suit. That's not who he is. So he got set up to fail under Dan Quinn, and now Mike Zimmer has to come in and fix all that. So we need the guys at the position. That's why Joseph is here. And finally, Jerry is bringing in those guys because everyone knows we need those one techs. And I'm glad Mike Zimmer, again, is getting his way and fixing the issues that Dan Quinn created and left us. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching my breakdown of the second Cowboys preseason game. We have one more preseason game left, and then roster cuts. Who makes the team? Who doesn't? We're going to talk about it, that's for sure. Man, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your boy Mecca Mike, and I'm out.